under contract for your first hotel or have an independent hotel? I just went under contract for my very first independent hotel, and here are the top 10 tips about how you can get more direct bookings, why to go independent, and how to empower your team and show up better online. Enjoy. Welcome to Chai and Cabins, where we talk all things entrepreneurship, short-term rentals, real estate, and business. My name is Rashmi, like don't rush me, and it's my pleasure to welcome you onto this podcast. First off, why independent hotels? Two main points, and this actually helps you get more nights booked. The first one is the USP, which is a unique selling point, is off the charts for independent hotels. You have basically no regulations from like a franchise or a flag. You can be as creative and wild as you want, and customers are looking for that. So go ahead and put in that fire pit. Go ahead and put in that pickleball court. Make your rooms unique. Put up some nice wallpaper, have some muralists come out and do a nice painting. We'll talk a little bit about that, but let's be clear, this is not your grandpa's 50s style motel with roaches and drugs. No, we're talking about a brand new revamped nice motel that looks beautiful in photos and has a story that people want to relate with. So make sure that USP is off the charts. And if you live in the most boring town in America or anywhere in the world, I will be giving you a tip at the very end about how you can make it super unique. Actually, I'll rephrase that. It's not at the very end, it's in the middle, the tip. So you do have to watch this whole thing though. All right. The second part about why we go independent is, guys, consumer demand for independent brands is off the charts. Today, when I look to book a hotel, I don't look for a Hilton or Marriott or a Holiday Inn Express. I'm like, how can I be different? How can I book a unique place that is different and is very unique to the city I'm going to or the town I'm going to? I want to feel and have art pieces from local. I want to eat local food at these cafes. So I'm looking for that independent brand. And because the consumer demand is all at an all-time high because of Instagram, because of TikTok, Google is pushing independent hotels up on Google search when people are searching hotels near me or hotels in this town. So make sure your website shows up, and I am going to give you a lot of tips about how to make your website better. Now, disclaimer before we get into this, a lot of these strategies are new for me. Like I said, I am under contract at this time, not fully done yet with my deal, and I will be implementing all these strategies once I close on my hotel and we start rehabbing it. But I wanted to make this video in case anyone else is in the same boat as me or already has properties and is looking to get to the next level, get more nights, get more revenue, and serve our guests better. All right, let's go. Tip number one, make sure you have professional photography that is done by a professional hotel photographer. So what does this mean? In the short-term rental space, there are lots of photographers that specialize in kind of real estate photography, but you want to have somebody that can capture the ambiance of the short-term rental, the fire pit, the wine glasses. You want to be able to incorporate that same feature in your hotel. So if you live in a small area, maybe there aren't any photographers that specialize in hotels, look in bigger cities and see if they're willing to come out, pay for that. This is going to be the number one way you stand out when people can see these nice photos of your property. And for them to see nice photos, obviously you need to have a nicer property. Again, we're not talking about a cheap motel, and there's nothing wrong with being roadside. I'm buying a roadside motel. We're just going to completely revamp it into something that's going to look amazing and attract those level of guests. So that's tip number one. Sub tip number one, like 1.8, I guess, is optimize your Google My Business page, you guys. Most of the tips I'm talking about are completely free. They will just require some time. So if you are short on time, which I know a lot of hoteliers are because we're wearing so many hats, we're juggling so many things, get either a virtual assistant. I have my resource down here below from onlinejobs.page, which is where I find my virtual assistants. Either get a virtual assistant, or an even better tip if you're not sure how to train one, is go to Fiverr and post a job post that says, for 20 bucks, I will pay someone to optimize my Google My Business listing. I need photos uploaded, I need name, I need XYZ done, and then pay them the money. and you're off on your way. Or if you have the time, maybe you're like, this evening, I'm just going to finish it out, sit down in front of your computer and do all of this. Your Google My Business page should be on this little green dot, which is like mostly completed. It has all the photos, they're optimized, they look really nice. You have your website, phone number, whatever they're asking you. The more boxes you can check, the better you are going to rank on here. And I'm going to give you a killer tip a little bit later about how you can boost up your Google reviews, which is the #1 way. I am pretty sure, now I'm not an expert in Google, but I'm pretty sure this is how they figure out who to boost and who not, is Google reviews, because they want people coming in here and commenting about how the experience was. All right, once you have done Google My Business page, go ahead and create a Bing and a Yelp. Now, you may go, Rashmi, no one goes to Bing, no one goes to Yelp. Yeah, maybe, probably. I feel like Yelp is a lot more popular. Anyways, I recommend getting on as many free directories as you can with your information. I feel like it helps boost like the Google algorithm up because you're seeing you list on all of these sites, which is why I recommend you list on every OTA, especially if you're not getting the level of bookings you want to get. I know, for those of you who don't know, OTAs are online travel agencies, so think travel, Expedia, Kayak, Airbnb, those kinds of things. And a lot of independent hotels don't like them because they take a significant chunk, 18% of your revenue. So I understand that. And what we like to do is obviously have some kind of price bump in there where it's more expensive to book on there. If people want to pay that, they can. But then if they book directly through us, they don't have to pay that extra 18%. The other thing is it does help with your Google SEO because they see you listed on all of these sites that they think are like the big guys, and then it helps you boost. So use these guys. And honestly, there are lots of travelers we get from them, and the first time they book, through booking.com, and the second time they choose to book direct with us. And then now we have a lifetime customer that's booking over and over and over again. And by the way, when I say I know this happens, is I manage a couple of hotels, so I see their data. And this is something we plan to implement into our motel as well. All right, anything else you can find online for free? If I missed a resource that you're like, Rashmi, should really be on there, drop me a comment below, guys. This is a community and I want to help everybody be the best possible independent hotelier they can be. All right, how do I get more sales? This is like actually tip #1, which is economic development. So when you buy a new property, maybe you have an existing property, go to your economic development office, go to the Chamber of Commerce and ask them like, what are you guys looking for? In this town, in this city, like what is missing? What are you looking for? And usually they'll typically say, hey, like we don't want anything that's 2 stars or below. We're not looking for economy, like that's covered. We maybe don't need anything that's 5 stars. Maybe they do, I'm not sure. But typically they're like the 3 to like the 4.5 stars, right? They're looking for like a mid-tier kind of product. Again, this will differ for markets. So just ask them like, what are they doing? Okay, cool. If I make up my property, be one of these stars, can you guys help me? Can I get more publicity? And maybe don't ask them, like, can I get more publicity? But like, what resources do you have for independent small businesses? What resources do you have for hoteliers? Maybe there's a grant out there, guys, that they can help you get. Maybe they can hook you up and make an introduction to a local magazine that's looking to do an article on a local hotelier that's transforming the downtown area. Maybe there are state level grants. Maybe there are even national level grants. You won't know until you start being part of the conversation for economic development in your city, in your town, and in your area. So make sure you are out there asking them, hey, what do you want? All right, tip #2. Use what is happening in restaurants. I'm going to give you an example that makes it really easy. If you go to most restaurants, including Starbucks, which is a coffee shop, you get the point. If you are going to a coffee shop and they're offering free Wi-Fi, they will usually ask for your email address. And you have to put in your email address, and then you get all of these like automated emails basically. And nowadays at restaurants, and I have a restaurant, we'll ask for cell phone numbers and we'll send them text messages that say, hey, come back and see us. We haven't seen you in a couple of days. Here's an offer, that kind of thing. Let's begin to use that in our hotel properties. So if you have free Wi-Fi, like advertise that, like we offer super fast, freakishly fast Wi-Fi. You can work from here. We have a cool coffee shop in our lobby and you can just, get all of your work done. When people are logging in, make sure you're capturing their email, make sure you're capturing their phone number, and then start sending newsletters. If you do not have time to send out newsletters, again, virtual assistants, there's tons of companies that help outsource this. Now, the one tip I will say is when you hire a virtual assistant or you outsource, that doesn't mean you like fully take it off your plate. What I do is I have them do the work, but then I review all the emails before they go out just to make sure they're in our brand voice, they reflect what I want to convey. And if they don't, we go back to, I have them go back to the drawing board table. Your job as the independent hotelier is to overlook all of the departments, but have other people that are helping you, that are better than you, that know opening metrics, that know how to create a hook in an email where people are clicking on it, they're watching targets, that kind of stuff, which you have to get real nitty. I prefer to hire people who are 10 times smarter than me, so we can all make a little bit more money. All right, so when you are doing that, make sure you have some way of capturing the emails and phone numbers, and you're actually using the data to do things. Don't just collect them. There are tons of softwares, there's tons of people who can help, get your email addresses, create replica, Facebook, Meta, audience target information. That's not my area of expertise. If there's anyone here that is, again, drop your information below. I would love to connect with you guys. Tip number 3, when someone calls your property, make their life easy, you guys. When a guest calls, have them basically ask them like, 1, are you looking to make a new reservation or is this for a current reservation? If they're looking to make a new reservation, you can have them opt in to sign up to receive a text message. So they get a text message that says, hey, we are fully online. Here's our website, click on it. Here's the book now and make your reservation. So they don't have to spend all this time on the phone with you, and your current team members can focus on assisting other guests and answering any questions. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to make a killer website, which is like the number one thing you have got to do if you want to be in 2024 and kill it as a hotelier. So it's all about making our guests' lives easy. All right, tip number 4, be a captain. Price your property for the next 18 months out. Make sure you're using pricing softwares. You can use Price Labs, Wheelhouse, have a revenue management company. I am actually talking to one today who I'm hoping can help me optimize my pricing, because I am by no means an expert for the properties I manage, but I want to be one, and I want to bring on people onto my team who are better at this than I am. If you live in an area that has international travelers, they tend to book a lot further out than maybe national people that live in the United States. So you want to make sure your property is showing up for these days and is priced out that far out. They're not expensive, you guys, and the incremental revenue they will help you build will make a huge difference. All right, tip number 5, boards. So get on the tourism committee for your area, get on the tourism board. If they have local events coming up, you are going to know before everybody else in the market. Oh, their soccer team's coming to town. Oh, cool. I didn't know this concert was going to be here. Let me go in and bump my price up a little bit. Oh, you're bringing an entire concert to town. Do you guys need a place to stay? I've got a couple of rooms to fill. Let me work it out with you. And guys, when you tell people you're working out with them, like, you don't have to give them a discount. Tell them, for your team, I will give them an hour early check-in. I'm going to put bottled waters in all of their rooms for them. You can do a lot of things that is not price discounting your property to make it a better experience for everybody involved. People would much rather pay for early check-in, late checkout, and that incremental hour, as opposed to getting a 20% discount because they booked directly with you. Ask your health department. You guys pay a heads in bed tax. Ask them, like, where are those funds going? What is the town, the little city, whatever you are, like, what are they doing with this money? And how can you be a part of shaping that conversation that helps grow the economic development of the town, of the city? Are there any funds? Are there any grants? If you're going to go in and put an expansion, is the city going to help you with a little bit of money? Maybe you can develop some parking lots and share it with the city. I don't know. But unless you start asking those questions and making yourself a resource, other people are going to know after you guys. So you've got to get out there. And the tip number sub of this is, I like to create special discount codes, something I'm implementing in all the hotels. If people are military, they get a little bit of a discount, teachers, firefighters. And the other thing I like to do is a rate card, which is something we're working with on all of our websites currently, which is, if you book with us, you're going to pay X price. But if you book on booking.com, Expedia, it's going to be this much more. So like, booking with us is the cheapest price you can get, and promoting that. going to make a huge difference, guys. And I'm going to mention the boards things one more time because we need more restaurants, we need more hotels to speak up at economic development forums. So make sure you sign up. People, tip number 6, people make the world go round, guys. If you have a little bit of larger keys, you're struggling to fill up rooms, hire a sales rep, have them hit up college, wedding venues, all these areas that are bringing people into your area. Now, if you cannot afford a sales rep, there are lots of companies that do fractional sales people. You can have virtual assistants, pick up the phone, call people, set up meetings. You can scrape data, which I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. But make sure you're top of their mind. You're their preferred vendor. There's special pricing just for them. And you are going out of your way with welcome bags. You are doing luggage drop-off services for them. You are going all out and be creative. It's like the most important part of this. You do not have to drop your prices off the gate. Think about how you can be creative. Think about how you could be unique. Tip number 7, if you are not on the table, you are on the menu, you guys. This goes back to the boards table, which is get a seat at the table, Chamber of Commerce, economic development, visit areas, whatever it is. Please join, show up, and speak up. It will make a lifetime of a difference. All right, tip number 8. There are 700 touch points a user or a guest goes through before they book your travel. Make sure you are number 1 and you are seen. So apart from Google, Yelp, Bing, blah, blah, make sure all of your OTAs, so Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, the listings look really good. So I know we don't like them, like I get that, but the fact is they are on the market and they will help you get more bookings. It also helps you rank better on Google. So you want to make sure your listing isn't stale. We have a process internally where every 3 days we're going through all of our properties and we're checking, do we appear on Vrbo? Are we looking okay on Expedia? Is the price too low? Is it too high? Are we not showing up enough? Are we showing up too much? Which is obviously like not a problem, but gotta be on top of these things because it's how other people are viewing you. Book now links everywhere when you are going on your website. So first thing is make sure you have a decent direct book website. Make sure it's easy, make sure it's secure, make sure it features your property well. There are tons of companies out here and I have personal recommendations if you guys are looking for websites that I'm happy to share with you guys. So let me know, but make sure you have a really good website that's easy to navigate, pulls up on a cell phone, easy, no problem. All right, here are the top things your website should have. Book now links everywhere, like every screen should have like book now. So it makes it easy for people to be like, they don't have to go up scrolling like, where's the book now button? Rate comparison, which I talked about, which is show that you are cheaper than all of the OTAs. Cart abandonment metrics, guys. Like how many people are going to the booking page and not booking? Like why are they not booking? That needs to be a conversation, but unless you have the data, it's going to be hard to convert that. Remember, if you can't measure it, I forgot what this best saying is, but if you can't measure it, it's really hard to track and you're not going to make any money. Can you use those cookies and follow people around on Facebook and have ads for your property come up? Maybe they're looking to book today, maybe they're booking to book later, but are some of your ad dollars kind of going to that? And speaking of ads, a lot of people, don't want to spend ads, especially independent hotels. The usual recommendation I hear from the market is about 5% of your revenue should be going to marketing dollars, whether you're working with influencers, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's TikTok, whether it's being on these OTAs, like whatever it is for you, make sure you're budgeting 5%. I'm a big fan of profit first, which is how we run all of our businesses. So we have separate accounts. So we're taking out money for taxes, we're taking out OPEX money, and we're taking out money for marketing. And we use that marketing budget to do things to promote our property. Because if I spend only 5% marketing my property, and I'm getting all of my bookings and I'm not spending 18% with OTA, I have just saved myself the difference. And most people don't realize this. So you might have some things you could do for free, but some things will require money, but this is a really good way and a really good product to basically use for your money. I hope that made sense. When people search for hotels in your area, do you show up number 1? Do a Google Incognito search. If you don't, how can you change that? Are Hiltons and Marriott's taking up all of your hotel on Google? Okay, well, can you show up as number 1 on TikTok? Can you show up number 1 on YouTube? Can you show up number 1? There are so many other ways you could do this, but constantly being in that market, how can I show up? Is there an online chat on your website? Is your website ADA compliant? These are things that make a difference, you guys. Do you have a standard rate and then military rate, corporate rate, teacher discount, all of these kinds of things? Are you running offers? If you book 3 nights, you get the 4th night for free. We offer complimentary check-in. That's an hour early when you book direct with us. Don't get that if you book with booking.com. These are the things that will help you stand above the competition and above other people. All right, tip number, I forgot the number, maybe 8 or 9. Content is king, you guys. I know you've heard it. I know, I get it. But have you done anything to change that? Do you have Instagram? Do you have TikTok? Are you working with influencers? Are you showing off your property? I talked about this tip a little bit before. I believe it's tip number 10 is, do you know who you are? Do you audit your OTA listings every 3 days? Do you show up on Google? Do you know what your Google listing looks like? Have you responded to every review that you get? Are you SEO optimized for all of your photos? When you upload a photo, does it say like screenshot number 1 or photo 1 JPEG? If that's true, rename your photo, call it double queen bed at property name, city, this when you upload it. That makes a difference to the SEO search. Again, just little things make a huge difference.